Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and today we are back with another Dragon Ball Daima episode breakdown and review, this one being episode 13. And yeah, it's a little bit of a cool down episode, especially with what we got last time, but it was really funny, really quirky, and it offered some like visual gags and whatnot before we're clearly about to dive into way more action and drama. So with that out of the way, if you would like to like the video, if you like the content by the end of it, and if you love it, maybe even subscribe, because we are this close to 1,000 subscribers and we would love to break that milestone, preferably before Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle's 10th anniversary. So let's hop into it. So the episode really does start off with essentially Goma losing his marbles. Why? Because Goma is big scared, all right? Goma sees now that he is woefully behind on all the plotting and scheming going on, and that, you know, Arensu has a Dragon Ball, and then that the Sand Gang has, well, Sand plus Piccolo, I guess it's just the Z Gang. The Z Gang has 2 Dragon Balls. So he needs to start kind of figuring out his countermeasures before he gets completely swept. And he decides to shut down Warp Sama, and he tells Dagesu to go do this. Now Dagesu is apprehensive because this hasn't ever really been done before as far as he knows, and he doesn't like to be the one to do it. But he goes down, he takes down this failsafe on this one lever, and apparently all of Warp Sama's capabilities are all tied to this one lever. So he pulls it down and he looks, Warp Sama goes into a sleep, and Dagesu looks visibly just like shooketh. Like, he really doesn't like this decision. It's seeming to go against the grain that he's shutting down Warp Sama, who is in charge of all, you know, just transportation between these realms. So yeah, that pretty much happens, and you really just essentially have this like moment where you can kind of tell that Goma is panicking. Now we flash back to the gang, and for the upteenth time, the ship has crashed. Yes, that is what's up. The ship is going down again. They have a hard crash landing. Everybody's jumbled around in the ship, and yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? So this ends up happening. Pansy offers to do repairs. And so pretty much her and Bulma are going to get together and repair the ship. They tell everybody to get out, and that's just to be expected, you know. So they get out and they start exploring. Goku's going around. It looks like Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta and Shin just kind of walked out to kind of get just some forward scouting. And at this point, Vegeta just kind of suggests, he's like, hey, so why are we not gonna, you know, float out and just go ourselves? We can send the fighters in like an advanced group and do this. And Shin's like, no, because mortals can't activate Warp Sama on their own. None of them knowing that Warp Sama is currently out of commission. Now, another cool side thing is that Bulma introduces Pansy to capsules, and Pansy's like, whoa. So without even realizing it, Bulma is probably just like literally jump-starting Demon World's technology. I'm sure that by the end of this series, we're going to see Bulma leaving a case of capsules, and Pansy, being as smart as she is, will probably be able to reverse engineer that to bring capsules to the Demon World for a future setting, you know, if we ever return to Demon World. But yeah, so Vegeta has his idea, and Shin shoots it down immediately. And then you have Neba realizing where this is, and he is shooketh. He is like, oh no, we gotta repair the ship. We gotta get out of here. He says that this is the planet of Mega. And the planet of Mega is the second most dangerous planet in all of Demon Realm. So he's gotta get out of there. We gotta get out of there. And you end up seeing, it flashes back to Hybis and Bulma, and Hybis, Bulma, and Pansy. And Pansy asks for Hybis to be a step stool. And that's pretty funny. You know, they're just kind of treating Hybis like dog water. Even though I think my stocks for Hybis being the next ruler of the Demon Realm are going to be pretty high. That seems like a very Toriyama thing to do. But we are going over there. And once that happens, you have Glorio taking the moment to call Arensu. Arensu is super happy that all 3 Dragon Balls are in her control, apparently. And you really just have her asking Glorio to keep tabs on there. But she also tells Glorio to watch out for Goma, who is probably going to get desperate and start doing some desperate things. To which Glorio says, okay, yeah, I'll watch out for him. So yeah, Arensu is super pleased with herself, and Glorio is still out here clearly reporting to her. And yeah, you have some moments where Pansy and Bulma bond. You know, they're both standing on Hybis's back still, working on the ship. And Bulma starts asking about the green gemstone that seems to power everything. That gemstone that, you know, was not native, or that was native to Demon World, so she couldn't recreate it for the ship. And that green gem is called Majin Light, and Majin Light actually comprises most of the surface of the if I'm not mistaken, let me reference my notes. The top of the second demon realm or bottom of the third demon realm is all made of Magilite, and so they mine it. But it is a rare resource, and it powers pretty much everything that goes on in the demon realm. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But then Goku is walking around and he ends up coming across a giant hamster. Yeah, that's where this episode is going. A giant hamster, and the moment he sees it, he's like, oh man, bro, that's a giant hamster. And we now have this point where like the whole gang is being overran by hamsters. Neva's even like, oh no, hamsters! And it was just this funny moment that he's like this all-powerful Namekian and he's over here screaming about hamsters. Goku does not want to hurt them. Goku's like, no, that would be too cruel to hurt the hamsters. So Goku's got a soft spot for animals. And then Shin is kind of like like he puts up like the cross, like no, like he does not seem to like rodents. This guy doesn't like bugs, he doesn't like rodents. Shin is a princess. But Vegeta shares no such, I don't know, like just qualms about blowing up these hamsters. This bro is punching them left and right, shooting ki blasts. You even see Glorio and Piccolo shooting the ground in front of the hamsters to keep them away. And it's just like really, really funny. Like Vegeta just does not care. He's brutalizing these rodents. And so you pretty much get this point where giant footsteps scare the hamsters away. And they go up to see what it is. And it is this giant. It is this ginormous being. And Neva just tells them that's a Megalith child, probably on his way back from school. So this isn't even the biggest ones. These are just the children. And this guy's walking around. He's absolutely huge. He's got his little school sack on. It's hilarious. It's cute. And just the air pressure from his steps pushes the gang away. Like Piccolo, Goku, and Vegeta go flying. And then he sits down and they're just looking at him. They're like, okay, we need to hide and we need to fix the ship. That's all we can do here. And we see him eating a snack. And this snack is like huge. He's crunching on it. And that's when Neva's like, oh yeah, that's fried Kraken. And Goku and Vegeta are flabbergasted. They're like, these things are just casually eating the Kraken. And that shows you how strong that these Megalith people can be if they're just beating up these Krakens and using them for food. And so yeah, they're trying to hide. The guy has a little dog, a little doggo, and the doggo is like sniffing around and chilling. They're trying to hide from him while the repairs are getting done. And then the dog sees Goku and it is on. They are all fighting versus this dog, and they're trying to outrun it. They're trying to, you know, like hit it, shoot ki blasts at it. The ki blasts seem to tickle. In fact, the dog looks like it's a pleasurable experience. He's having fun. Vegeta straight up uppercuts his dog at one point though, and we think it's like over, but he's up and he's just chilling. So they're really just trying to distract the dog while Pansy and Bulma get the repairs done. It's actually just really, it's just a gag. It's a huge gag. And at one point, the dog sees the spaceship. He's coming through. They can't really stop him. And so Goku comes over and he fires a massive Kamehameha. It looks awesome. They get some really, really good artwork here, zooming in on his face, him charging it, him firing it. The dog gets hit in the face and he has no pupils. You can tell this dog got knocked out. Unfortunately, this alerts the child. So the child gets up and literally starts like kind of going off. There's a lot of funny stuff that happens with the dog. Like they're trying to fight the dog. Piccolo, Goku, and Vegeta are kind of getting waxed. At one point, Goku falls into the dog's fur and has to fight fleas and comes out, and the fleas are coming with them, and they're beating the fleas. They have no problem beating the fleas. But it's just a lot of funny small stuff. So yeah, now you have the kid, and he's aware, and he picks up his ruler like a sword, starts trying to swat. Glorio is trying to outmaneuver, but you know, something this big moving fast is really hard. And you have Goku eventually like holding this hand and trying to push the hand away from the ship. But eventually the Megalith child overpowers him and swats him, and Goku ends up falling into his clothes. It's at this point that Vegeta just kind of turns Super Saiyan and starts trying to just like shoot some ki blasts, you know, fight around, and it's just not enough. Goku moving around in the Megalith child's shirt has the Megalith child trying to scratch at it, squishing Goku. Goku gets out only to fall into the guy's like little book bag, his little rucksack, and afterwards he goes Super Saiyan to bust up out of there. He has the power pole. He tries to clash with the ruler and he gets met in a stalemate. So this child is so strong. But there's like a lot of dust kicked up, everybody's trying to run away, and they do end up escaping the Megalith child, and Goku gets back on the ship. So yeah, like realistically, it's wild, but a lot of this episode was just like a run-on gag, and it was very much so, like I said, a cool-down episode. It does kind of hurt, this being after a break week, but I'll talk more on that in the summary. So you get to the point where they escape, and they're all on the ship, and this is the first time where Vegeta kind of drops his arrogance, and he's like, that was terrifying. Like, that was scary. I can't believe we made it out of there. And everybody just kind of sighing a sigh of relief. You know, you have Bulma and Pansy in the background just smiling. Hydas is unbothered as per usual, and it's just like a nice little moment. And then all these like little rainbow particles are in the air, and it's just really gorgeous, really beautiful. They're flexing the animation of Dragon Ball Daima, and everybody is looking hype. Like, everybody's out looking at the out the windows, really happy to see such a beautiful sight. And then we have our stereotypical Glorio being sus in the background once again. You know, he's got his ulterior motives, and he's not taking pleasure in any of this. And then one of the last things you see, I mean, you do have at some point, like, yeah, he's just looking at this, and you kind of have the setup. You have the setup. We're going over, we're trying to get to Demon World 1. The Warp Sama is out of commission, and it just really is this point where we are bookending this episode knowing that they're going to meet an obstacle in the fact that Warp Sama is not able to be activated. So, yes. So, all in all, I'm not going to hold you back. I'm not like a meathead that just wants to see fights in a new form. I very much so have liked Daima so far, but this episode, clearly, it had, not only did it not really have like any intense fights, it didn't have any intense world building, and that kind of makes me sad. I think some of the things I forgot towards the end is that the Vegeta does ask what the first most dangerous world is, and Neba is like, oh, that's Giga. So there's apparently beings that are even bigger than the Megaliths, and basically he was saying, they asked why didn't the Megaliths just rule Demon World if they're this strong, and it's explained that they're a laid-back race that have no interest in rule, so they really just mind their own business and everybody leaves them alone. But yeah, this video was very much, or this episode was very much so a filler, not a filler, but a cool down episode. It was just like kind of funny, kind of cute, had some gags, but coming off of a week break after such a hype episode, I think we needed some gas. We needed to find out some things we didn't know before. We needed to have a hype fight scene. We needed to have the progression of what Goma's gonna do to really get at them. Like, yeah, shutting down Warp Sama is cool, but that was very passive. We needed something explosive in terms of exposition or action, and instead we got a gag episode after a week's break after the hypest episode of Daima so far. So yeah, that one hurts. And alongside of that, just to point it out even further, it makes it harder to even make a video like this because I can talk about what happened, but nothing was really gained. And so there's not really much to a breakdown this episode. So I'm sorry for that, guys, but I'm sure next episode is going to have a million things to break down. So let me know what you guys think of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a fun little slice of life, breath of fresh air, but I'm looking for something a little different. But yeah, stay tuned for this channel. We're going to have lots of content out. Dokken's 10th anniversary is coming out soon, so we're going to have some details to go over. We're going to be streaming more Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to be working Sparking Zero back into the mix, so you guys just sit tight. Love you all. Let me know if you like this sort of content. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to help me reach that 1,000 goal post. So